Hey guys, I want to show you the parts and the basic layout that we're going to do in the newest Bluetooth speaker build. The new one that I'm going to be doing is going to be labeled JP speaker build, and those are the initials of my son. I just had my first son, and he is very small, but very strong, very mighty, very powerful. And that's kind of what I think of this speaker build. It is a very small speaker build. It's not tiny by any means. But you think of it more like a smaller one that's gonna be on your desk or something. Son's also not small. He's actually pretty big for his size. So it's very powerful. You get a lot more sound out of it than you would think. So let's run you through some of the parts that we're going to be using. We are going to be using a baffle step corrector. If you don't know what that is, I'm going to have a video and it will be linked in the description to explain what a baffle step corrector is. It's basically, we just need a 0.90 inductor and a 20 ohm resistor. We're going to need two of those, okay? We are actually going to be using the same baffle step corrector that Paul Carmody uses for these particular speakers. We may modify that later after I get a microphone and set it up, but this is a good starting point. We do have a power connector for the back port to plug in our power cord into. This is a 3.5 millimeter jack because we're going to have one of those available if we want to utilize it. This is a 2x25 watt Shure amplifier. We will not be powering this all the way. We're only going to be using probably a 12 volt by 3 amp, which is only about 36 watts or so. We do that to lower distortion, and basically if you power an amplifier to its max and you turn up the max volume, you're going to get a lot of distortion. But if you power it a lot lower, you can turn it up to max volume and you won't get that distortion that you would typically get. We are going to use this. This is actually from a Chinese company. I got it from like AliExpress, I believe, but you can use a company like that. And it's Bluetooth. It has AM/FM radio, it has USB, it has SD card, and has AM/FM radio, and it does have where you can put a line in, and that's what we're going to utilize for the 3.5 millimeter jack. The only thing I can say about this was cheap. It was about 13 bucks. I really liked the look of it. The plastic's still on there. That's what you see here. That'll come off to look much nicer. The only thing I don't like about it is everything that you view on the screen is in English, like line, BT, FM, all that is in English. However, when you switch between the different modes, like line in, Bluetooth, FM, someone comes out and talks in Chinese, and I have no idea what they're saying. Sure, it says Bluetooth tuner, whatever. But yeah, now this did come with a bunch of these cables that we'll hook into the back and we'll utilize for power and AM/FM tuner, and they just plug into the connections on the back. There is a remote control for that. It has its own independent volume, and it even has an equalizer on there, which is kind of cool. We are going to use a power switch. It's just a rocker to turn it on and off. You do need a rocker switch or something like that. It cannot be a momentary switch, okay? And we have an antenna if I decide to actually utilize the FM tuner. I haven't decided whether or not I want to utilize the FM tuner, so we'll kind of go from there. Now let's show you the speakers, because that's the main reason that we're doing. We have two of these ND90s. Now this is just going to show you the layout. This is scrap wood. This isn't what I'm actually using. But these are the two Dayton ND90 speakers. They're 3.5 inches. Really, they're 3.5 inches from frame, really. They're closer to 3-inch actual speakers, it looks like to me. They're full range speakers and they sound great. This particular unit will be mounted down here. And I haven't decided if I'm going to flush mount that or surface mount that. I may just surface mount it. The speakers, I am going to do something like this. This is 3/4 inch wood. We're going to use 1/2 inch wood, but we're going to sink these in so that the speakers will actually be sticking out about another 1/4 inch forward. And we're going to do like a 1/4 inch round over like we've done on these. And on the back, here it is, the passive radiator. We're going to do a passive radiator on this one. And we're going to show you on a WinISD video on how we determine the size passive radiator and the tuning frequency and what the curve is supposed to look like. And once again, we're going to do the same thing with the passive radiator. We're going to curve it in. Once again, this is 3/4 inch wood. This is just scrap that I had laying around that I wasn't doing anything with, and I decided to test it out, just kind of see what it looked like to make sure I liked it. We'll be finishing this with oak, and the speaker box itself will be MDF. All right, guys, that's the basic parts. I will do a layout diagram, but this is kind of showing you basically what it will look like so you can visualize a little beforehand. All right, guys, as always, if you like it, please give it a thumbs up and let me know. And if you don't have anything else, always ask questions if you have any questions. Otherwise, I will see you at the next video. Thanks.